Okay, in this segment we're going to make some beef and chicken fajitas, and we're going to use our Southwestern spice to do it. I think if I were to pick a favorite of all of my butters, the Southwestern spice is it. I find it to be very versatile. We've already dipped into this a little bit, as you can see, because we've been making some other food with it. But it's got cilantro in it. We've actually infused it with the essence of lime in two ways. The citric acid, which comes from the juice of the lime, and we've also put in the lime extract, which comes from the skin of the lime. And I'm going to give you some secrets on how to use this. This does take on a different personality depending on how you use it, and I'll tell you some ways you can do that. We're going to cut up our meat for starters for fajitas, and we're going to do it in strips. And keep in mind, even though we're cutting these strips for fajitas, you don't always have to make fajitas when you cut your meat smaller. You get some benefits in cutting your meat into small pieces. Number one, the meat will cook much quicker, so if you're in a hurry and you want to make a quick, easy, but tasty dish, cut your meat smaller first. The second benefit you get by cutting your meat into smaller pieces is the flavor that we're going to add to it is going to cover more of the meat. So it's going to have a much more savory taste to it. I'm going to rinse that knife. I generally won't cut chicken in the same spot or with the same knife that I'm cutting other things with, and if I do, I like to clean up very quickly. Just food safety for those of you at home. Now, you may, like us, find yourself in a situation where you're on a budget. We do when we're on the road doing road shows and teaching people how to cook. And so we won't use an expensive cut of meat like I've got here. This is a nice filet. We will use flank steak. It's very inexpensive. It has a nice flavor to it, but it can be very tough. So here's your secret for cutting your flank steak, and that is to cut across the grain instead of with the grain. Remember, the grain, it's a muscle, and as it heats up, that muscle tends to tighten up, and that's what makes the meat tough. So we're going to cut those strings so it can't pull itself tight. That's a third benefit that you get by cutting your meat down. Now, I have pre-sliced some red and green bell pepper and some onion to go with this, and we're going to put it all in this pan. I've preheated a pan extremely hot. Depending on if you're cooking on a steel surface, or I've got a Teflon surface to make cooking easy for me for the video, but if you have a steel surface, you're going to have maybe a little bit of fat in the pan, a little oil, some olive oil or corn oil, so that the meat and the veggies don't stick to the pan. I won't have to worry about that with the Teflon. I won't have to put in anything at all. So we'll go ahead and we'll put those strips in there. And the reason I don't like to put too much on the pan, I want to put some color in the meat. Put a little bit of brown on it. These won't take long to cook at all. And keep in mind, you don't have to do this with Baja butter. You could take these same steak strips that you see me putting in the pan here, do them in a nice garlic butter, and serve it with a rice pilaf or with a baked potato. And you've got a wonderful dish that's basically the same recipe. The idea with Chef Shamy Saute butters is really meal solutions and not so much recipes. Be creative with them. Let's go ahead and put those veggies in the pan as well. Now, if you're going to serve this Mexican-style fajita, like we like to do at home, you want to plate them with a little scoop of sour cream, little scoop of fresh homemade guacamole, and a couple of tablespoons of tomato-based salsa, and also some tortillas. Unfortunately, I don't have those here to show you, but we're going to use the whole plate for our fajitas today. But here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to provide you with my recipe for the best ever salsa and the best ever homemade guacamole. These are two of my favorites. I've been making them for many, many years, and I have the recipe cards at our website. To get the recipe cards, go to chefshamy.com, and on the home page there will be a button that says free recipe cards. Now when you press it, a box will come up where you enter a code word. Here's the code word that you enter to get your recipe cards. I hope you enjoy my salsa and guacamole. They're really good recipes. These are ready to turn now. Remember, this meat does not take very long to cook, and if you're ever wondering if a piece of meat is done, it's okay to take it out of the pan, set it on your cutting board, and just cut it open. No magic there. For chicken, if there's any color at all, it's not done. Meat's a different story. That can be done according to taste, and if you like a little bit of pink in the middle, which I do, you can leave it a little pink. Matter of fact, for me, that meat's going to be done very quickly because I don't like to overcook the beef. All right, this dish now is ready for the seasoning. This is one-step seasoning. This is how easy Chef Shamy gourmet butters are to use. We'll pull that lid off. I'm going to use a wooden spoon because I'm going to stir it into the pan. We'll put a bit there, a little bit there, a little bit there, and we can now stir that into the meat. Now remember that saute butters are like a condiment, they're like a seasoning. So I started with a small amount in the pan, and I may taste them. I may add just a little bit extra after I take them out of the pan. The nice thing is I've cut it into small bits. We're going to get that flavor covering every bit of that meat. Isn't that a great smell? Now, there's no rules against taking a little bit of fresh lime and squeezing it on there. If you like a little extra lime, I do. There is lime in the Baja butter. I know you're going to enjoy this butter. So, we'll take that piece right there and we'll cut him open. And we've got no color. That piece of meat is done. Once the meat's finished cooking, and that beef's done for my liking, I would prefer not to have it completely well done. If you do, leave it on just a little bit longer. Again, cut into it if you're not too sure. Vegetables, on the other hand, don't need to be cooked. I only like to warm them enough that the butter melts on. Here's one of the great things about cooking with flavor-infused butter. And that's that a good portion of your calories end up in the bottom of the pan, and the butter is a vehicle for carrying the rest of the spices to the meat. And we also get the great flavor of butter included. Isn't that great?